The push to amend the Constitution through the Building Bridges initiative has found itself in the crosswinds. Members of the bicameral parliament caught between a rock and a hard place on whether to amend or not, and actually whether they have the power to incorporate proposals by various groups gathered during the public participation exercise that ended last week. Our very own Chemutai Goin reports on the splitting hairs, both in the Senate and in the National Assembly.
The august House has found itself in a tight spot, the elephant in the room being the role of the bicameral House in reviewing the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020 and what changes it can make, if any.
We have no capacity as a House to even amend it, not even a comma.
This House, Mr. Speaker, is ceremonial in the sense that it's a conveyor belt.
You cannot have a provision in the Constitution where Parliament is required to conduct business or a transaction for ceremonial purposes.
The Joint Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of both houses, which was to concurrently table its report, asked for an extension citing legal and constitutional issues that needed to be addressed through the assistance of experts.
Why do they want an extension? Is there a problem in the committee? What are the reasons?
There is no intention whatsoever by the two joint committees to scuttle the BBI process, but we want to undertake a process, Madam Speaker, that can stand any constitutional test.
There are two components of the report that you are required to bring before Parliament. One is on the process. We must answer that question. Are we on the right track? Because it's a question that has arisen out there in the public, in the courts, and Parliament must speak to it. Secondly, is the issue of content. And even on that issue of content, Parliament must give an answer.
The proponents of the document fear that failure to accommodate the views collected during public participation may result in the bill being challenged in court. They are also grappling with the fact that allowing scrutiny of the document will open up a Pandora's box, since a section of the political class is pushing for amendments to the document. And there is also the question of whether the drafters of the bill usurped the powers of the IEBC by proposing the creation of 70 new constituencies.
This process in 257, whether Parliament is legislating or processing. And also what we want to answer is, if there are provisions that actually do not need a referendum that have been passed through this process, whether if the President assents to that, because 257(9) provides for the presidential assent, whether those sections then are deemed to have been passed, and then the IBC isolates the other matters to go to the people. So these are weighty questions we must ask.
We are, as a group of Hustler Nation, has always said, Mr. Speaker, that we are ready for a conversation, for consultation, for a win-win approach to this process of amending our Constitution. And I don't think there is a better institution for achieving that win-win approach than the floor of this House.
The proposals now put the proponents of the bill, President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga, in a dilemma. These amid the pending cases in court, where 7 groups have moved to challenge the BBI process. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV.